Welcome back, and today we're gonna be taking a look at doo-doo dogshit flight performance with good missiles part 29 McDonald's. This thing is... it's okay, it's definitely an upgrade over the MiG-29 SMT in every regard other than the maximum fuel. And that's all I really need to say. It's not a great plane, but the missiles are good. You have 8 of them and you can kind of mix and match them as you go. You have R-73s, R-77s, R-27 ETs and ERs. And personally, I'm running one R-73 and one ET at least at the very end. And our Ls are going to be many today, and that's why I have cycled out my decal that you can see right there on my wingtip and also on the screen. If you want to deliver Ls directly to the doorstep of your enemies, you can do so by buying anything through the link in the description. You'll get 3% off, you will get the decal, and you will be supporting the channel along the way. I hope this one satisfies a bit more than the Return to the Hangar one. I wasn't particularly happy with it, but you know, I'm not allowed to cycle it out for an entire year, and that's why it took a little bit longer. The MiG-29M has some tricks up its sleeve, and the main one is losing all of its energy in a singular turn while also forcing you to neck G while doing said turn. It's a highly annoying flight model, but luckily we do have a good radar with R-77. Now you can tell in this dogfight where I'm... the MiG-29M is basically just a worse version of the Su-27SM. The SM has more missiles, it has a better flight model, and overall is just much more enjoyable to play. It's one of the best 13.7s in the entire game. So honestly, there isn't that much of a reason to really play this thing out, which I think is a giant shame because I'm a big fan of MiG-29s. Or at least I'm in real life, because in the game they are low-key kinda mid. The main issue that I had with the MiG-29M is you have to play defensively, and if you do that, you are not having any game presence. I went to the left, I'm kind of side climbing, and then I come in kind of in the same angle as we did with the F-16A that we played the other day. This way you can pick people off with an ET, for example, and collect your singular free kill. We are in the backline, and if your game goes well, at least for your team, you're probably not going to get anything done. And if your team just completely collapses, you're also completely boned because you're in the MiG-29M. The missiles are good, they have good HOPS capabilities, and honestly, they feel great. They don't have the most amount of range, but considering we have to play this a little bit more defensively anyway, I don't think that it's a major issue. The major issue stems from the fact that you cannot push in with this thing. The no escape zone is not large enough, and you need to push well into the MAR if you actually want to get your missiles off and actually kill them from range. Now, if you get a little bit closer, you do have the advantage of the R-77 as well as the R-73 with the HMD, which definitely are needed, because if you get closer, you're also going to suffer from the disadvantage that is the MiG-29 flight model at 13.7. Luckily, the matchmaker has been kind of forgiving, but the plane definitely hasn't. We see the J-10, and then we want to look at the other thing that is absolutely abhorrent on this plane, the RWR. You can tell that the second I level out these wings, there is another J-10 directly next to me. The one in front of me explodes, second one shows up, and then I want to show you just what this plane does once you get close range with people. This plane does not want to go fast, and even though I might have notched this missile somewhat properly, I am so damn slow that the IOG just doesn't care. It will just hit you face on. Was that a perfect engagement? Definitely not. I could have played it better, but I'm just here to show you that sometimes the plane just kind of lets you down. And when I have something to show you that actually means something, I obviously won't cut it out. So there is my third death or so ever in my entire history of playing this game. The MiG-29 doesn't really have a place, and while it is definitely offensively capable, if you want to use those offensive capabilities, you need to just put yourself in such a bad position that you're probably going to trade with 2 or 3 people, but you are going to die if you try to do it, and that's the way that we're going to be playing it today. The issue with this is, again, that you are very much dependent on what happens in your game. You need to wait for people to come to you, and if you wait too long, you're not going to get any kills, and if you wait too short, then you might get a kill or two, and then you will probably die. So if you are a newer player that just GE'd this plane to get the MiG-29, to get a Fox 3 Slinger with that looks to be okay, be mindful that if you want to play this thing like a LARPer, you want to play this properly, you want to adhere to all the rules of air combat, you're probably not going to get any kills. You need to be a little bit suicidal if you want to make this plane work, and even if you do make it work, it is still not going to be fantastic. The Su-27SM is simply just a much better plane, and when you get into a position like this, well, we're just gonna fire off all of our missiles, and eventually one of them will definitely hit. The countermeasures amount is kind of okay at 13.7. The battle rating here means that we mostly got down here to 13.0. We got a few 12.7s, we got a couple of 13.3s, and we got a handful, I think 3 or 4 of the 14.7 variety. But honestly, I haven't seen that many Eurofighters, which is good. If you get fully up-tiered in this thing, you are going to have an absolutely abhorrent time. The only good news about it is that the Su-30 SM2 will be on your team. The main brunt of the quantity missile slingers, so the ones that have like 20 missiles, they're gonna be on your team. You might run into an F-18 and stuff like that, but these aren't that big of an issue. The F-15C, yeah, that is a little bit of a different story, but I think that against an F-15C, we can definitely manage. Now, if we get past the head-on, a little bit of a different story, but in that 3 to 10 kilometer range, you do have advantages. The only issue that we have is the plane just doesn't want to maintain energy. And this is a big issue. If you're going like 500 kilometers an hour and he shoots a side aspect AIM-9M at you, well, I was gonna make an AIM-9L joke because you're gonna be holding its L, but you get the idea. I'm terribly funny, you're now gonna laugh, and we're all gonna have a jolly good time as you watch this video. Definitely press the like button, and then you're going to unpress that like button, probably dislike it because I make another 6-7 joke. That's just how it is over here, and you are willingly clicking on these videos, so you just like to be mentally assaulted. And so do I, because I just keep finding planes that I hate more than the last one. Now luckily, I really like MiG-29s. I like the look of these things. I like the plane. What can I say? The issue is that every time I get to play something that I like in real life, in the game it turns out to be basically CBT. Is the plane terrible? No. Is it unflyable? Definitely not. It has its hands, but it's just another kind of copy-paste, slap Fox 3s on it, move it a BR up. It's probably going to be shit, but hey, at least you get a new plane to grind. At least you need to yet again spend 8,000 golden eagles and then another 12,000 to spade the fucking thing. You're going to grind the plane and you're going to like it. That is essentially the way that we are being treated right now. And personally, I would really like to see some new airframes. Even if it's props, even if it's Korean war jets, I don't really care. Just give me something new. And the J-15T, that is essentially just an Su-30, except it has 48 countermeasures, really just isn't going to be cutting it. It doesn't scratch the itch of having a new plane that I can grind. Everything is copy-paste these days. Yes, we got some new Hungarian planes in the Italian tech tree, but they're 2.3, and unless you are a SEAL clubber or you just really like those low BR planes, I don't think that the demographic is all that big. I don't think there is that many people that are looking at planes below 3.0. And if you're learning the game, if you have a reason to play low tier because you're not good at it, there's nothing wrong with playing these vehicles, but I just think that the amount of people that play these vehicles isn't all that extensive. And there is a little bit of a flip side. I understand that not every plane has to be good. Not every plane can be good. If every plane is good, no plane will be. But a little bit more competitiveness, even if it's unrealistic, would be nice to have. It would be a little bit of a change in pace. And if they add something that is better every patch, yes, there is an issue because power creep will move forward, and then the last patch and the patch before that and the patch before that are all going to be instantly obsolete. That is also shit, but they did this to themselves by adding planes like the Ravioli, the Eurofighter, the F-15E way too fast. And yes, the F-15E isn't that good anymore, but that's exactly what I'm saying. The F-15E on release was diabolical. Then they fixed its engines and it was still pretty good. It wasn't overpowered anymore, but it was definitely on the top. Then they had the Eurofighter, the Ravioli, and almost instantaneously the plane became kind of mid. It's the same thing with all these planes. They went way too quick, and now when they're trying to fill in the gaps are basically always filled by a plane that is kind of ass. Just like the MiG-29M is. Now this is a squadron vehicle, so it is a little bit different, as we are trying to do a BVR fight with an F-15. I mentioned this at the start of the match, or at the video. You can definitely fight this guy at range, but he needs to make some mistakes because he just has a lot more energy until he went for a swim. Goes to show how overpowered multi-patting is, because he didn't get hit by any missiles whatsoever. Hope this video wasn't too slop. It's hard to get content for videos or planes like this because the plane is just very dependent on what your team does, and after your team does its thing, you still need to get kind of lucky with what the enemy team does, because if you get pincered or you get ran down, your game is probably going to be over. Also having some issues lately with OBS, so I'm trying to use Nvidia, but you can tell that the quality just is not the same. I think the issue is that it doesn't record at 4K. I'm not entirely sure. Mr. Yogurt goes down. That is going to be the video. Feel free to pick up the new decal in the description below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.